Into the triangle choke by Silva. Missed left hand by GSP. Made him pay, did Silva. Now Silva using that movement, circling, gets a couple kicks to the shins, inside leg kicks, and a reversal again. A little butt there, a bit of a shoulder by Silva. Put GSP down, but now he's behind him, hits a few shots to the side of the head, and Silva hits the spinning backhand to get out of it. Lands a jab there. And GSP answers with a low leg kick of his own. Shot right to the midsection by GSP. And there's the end of the first round. We're going to go right into it. Referee is Jessica Carr, who recently got the call up to SmackDown. And Silva inviting GSP to create the action, and he does just that. Lands a knee, has the rear mount. Silva slips it. Shot to the back of the head. Straight right from Silva. Oh, what a takedown there by GSP. Lightning quick, and a triangle choke again by Silva now. That Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu acumen on display, and there's an elbow from Silva. Anderson Spider Silva now. Nothing fancy about that, just kicking the side of the head. There's a shot down low, and then changing levels as GSP lands a couple knees at the midsection. And Silva looks a bit fatigued. Maybe he was playing possum. He lands two quick elbows. And now GSP in a bad way as he takes a knee to the midsection. That puts him down on the mat. This 10-sided dodecagon. By definition, that's how that works. And there's a couple knees from Silva right on the head of GSP. GSP's in a bad way here, but he's hangs on for the moment. Goes back to the midsection. Silva answers with a quick jab. The left hand by GSP. What a combination there. A series of elbows and finally a left hand by Silva. Has the rear mount, transitions, and there's a couple more knees and brings this round to a close. Thus far, I believe Silva is ahead on the scorecards, taking the first two rounds. There's a kick and knees to the midsection, a kick to the temple. Jessica Carr is checking on GSP, and he cannot continue. This fight is over, and here is your winner, the Spider, Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva getting it done by knockout. That sequence and then a kick to the temple put GSP on the mat, and that was all she wrote. What a way to open up this third round card of the actual heavyweight championship tournament. And with that, all of the next four matches that you're about to see all will take place in the tournament. This is a single night round of action as we are now on night 7 of the tournament. Hope you've had a good weekend thus far. Enjoying the holiday season in full swing. Hopefully you got some deals on Black Friday. I got a thing or two. Nothing really to write home about. But with that, we have our first match in the tournament for you. The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, facing Daniel Bryan. It's coming up next as we go to the ring. The following match is scheduled for one fall. It is a third round matchup in the actual heavyweight championship tournament with no limit. No time limit. Coming to the ring first, the new Daniel Bryan. And his opponent from Minnesota, the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Referee Earl Hebner will call the remainder of the tournament, and he calls to a start to this matchup between these two former opponents, representatives of WWE. Brock goes for an early cover here. It's a 1 count as Bryan kicks out easily. Brock does have an in-real-life victory over Daniel Bryan that he can claim, so Bryan will certainly be looking to prove that he can beat the best, the Beast. Brock Lesnar undefeated thus far. Actually, both these men undefeated in ARW. Bryan has one more win in his favor. It was a triple threat match against Bray Wyatt and Tetsuya Naito. And this is a single elimination tournament. So both men have won 3 matches now. Check that, 2 matches to get to this point. Daniel Bryan in the second round defeated Kenny Omega, and Brock Lesnar defeated the Macho Man Randy Savage one-on-one. Put the legend down in a close-fought matchup that saw the flying elbow, an F5, and ultimately the Kimura submission by Brock Lesnar to finish it up. And Bryan now transitions into a submission here, maybe just to get Brock off and to create some space. And as is visually apparent, Daniel Bryan giving up some size to Brock Lesnar, but it's never stopped him before from putting on a hell of a match and being competitive. As he's going to trade now with the Beast, lands a left hand, but eats a right hand. That puts Bryan down on the canvas, and here comes Brock. And Brock transitions to the leg submission now. Hebner checking on Bryan, but I don't think you're going to see Bryan submit to that. He's dealt with far worse. Has the front face lock on Brock, repositioning him in the center of the ring, has the rear mount, and now he's just going to land elbows right on the back of the skull of Brock Lesnar. And Bryan's going to need to get creative if he's to find himself with his hand raised at the end of this matchup. Brock unfazed here, reverses Bryan into the ropes, slips him, and could it be? Thought that was going to be the first trip to Suplex City. Bryan puts Brock on the canvas with a drop kick. And now Brock sends him back into the ropes. This time goes knee to the midsection. Flip Bryan in the center of the ring, and there's the first release German suplex over the top rope. And now Brock is 3 for 3, has tossed all 3 of his opponents. He did the same thing to Kofi in the first round. And what's this? An F5. Brock hit the F5 early. Bryan is motionless on the canvas. Is he going to make it out here? 2 and a long 2 count. Hebner saw the shoulder of Bryan come up. Brock puts Bryan in the corner, and he's making his way casually over to Bryan as he lands knees in the midsection. Bryan's in trouble here. Brock dragging Bryan's carcass away. Bryan looking to make some space. Brock with a quick spinebuster takedown, and Brock is just warming up. Madison Square Garden reacting to him here. Hits the rope, slips Bryan, and could it be? No, Bryan with the reversal. Bryan with a bridging German suplex. Don't tell me. And just gets a 1 count as Brock kicks out and goes right back on the offensive. Bryan reeling from that knee. Brock just dropped that 250-pound frame right on the midsection of Bryan, but Bryan missing the drop kick into the corner. And now Brock taking advantage. Has the rear mount. Bryan slips it into a pin here. 1, 2, kick out by Brock. Brock is the trouble with him. He has almost no weaknesses as Bryan has a double underhook into the power bomb. Armbar submission by Bryan now. Has Brock in a bad way. Brock not making it over the rope. He just powered his way out of it. And catching his breath here as he looks on at Daniel Bryan, strategizing, and maybe waited too long as Bryan hit the uppercut and now has a leg submission. The grapevine, and Brock is writhing in pain from that. Didn't like that at all. Bryan, by managing the pace here, keeping Brock off his feet, and staying in it, kicks to the midsection or backing up Brock, puts Brock into the corner, and is he going to land it? Yes, he gets the drop kick, this time into the corner. Bryan has been dominating the past minute or so here with a nice sequence, and Brock almost ended it with a clothesline, but Bryan dodged it and hit the uppercut. Drop kicks are landing for Daniel Bryan. Brock hasn't had an answer in the last couple of minutes for that European uppercut. Bryan is just knocked the wind out of Brock with that kick to the midsection. We're seeing Brock challenged here, much like he was in that Randy Savage matchup in the second round, and that kick to the midsection again takes Brock. Got him crumbling. There's a belly-to-belly suplex by Brock. Suplex number 2 of the matchup. And Bryan continuing to impress here. Goes for the label lock, center of the ring. Hebner's checking on Brock. Could this be it? Brock is in the wrong part of town. And it's deeply cinched in now. Is he going to submit? No. Brock breaks out. Escape the submission, but that kick again puts him right down, and Bryan goes right back to the label lock for a second time. Oh my God, does he have Brock here? What an upset this would be if Daniel Bryan can eliminate the Beast, but Brock still hanging in, and now they're going to trade blows here. Daniel Bryan is feeding off this Madison Square Garden. As am I. By all means, Bryan, eliminate this guy. Get him out of here. And Bryan with a big left hand. Bryan is in the driver's seat now. He goes back to the label lock, center of the ring. Hebner calls for the submission. Daniel Bryan has defeated Brock Lesnar, and he's going to the grand final event next week. One of the final 4 is Daniel Bryan. The label lock did it for the underdog of WWE. Daniel Bryan eliminates Brock Lesnar. And I couldn't be happier. Finally, we don't have to worry about Brock Lesnar being the first ever actual heavyweight champion. It won't go down like that. What an entertaining matchup. Wasn't sure. Was kind of resigned myself to seeing Brock in the final, but Fire Pro had some surprises for us. Love the underdog victory by Daniel Bryan. And we are going to set up the next matchup here. This next match will be Bobo Brazil versus The Undertaker. And we go now to the ring for the entrances. The following match is scheduled for one fall with no time limit. It is a third round actual heavyweight championship tournament matchup between... Coming to the ring first from Death Valley, The Undertaker. And his opponent, Bobo Brazil. Referee Earl Hebner calls to a start to the matchup, and Brazil gets the action started here. Brazil with that vintage wrestling style. He is going to manage the pace, but it'll be tough sledding against a guy who's made a career, lasted as long as he did because of his ability to manage pace and be so effective and selective with how he uses his offense. The Undertaker. Bobo Brazil. He debuted in the actual heavyweight championship tournament, and so he's undefeated thus far. 2 wins to get here. He beat Andre the Giant. He beat Jay White. Undertaker in his first round defeated the Icon, Sting. And then just last week defeated GFW heavyweight champion Xavier Shamrock. As Bobo goes for the first cover here, just a 1 count. Undertaker easily kicks out of that one as he stomps the inside leg of Bobo Brazil and transitions to the leg submission. And don't expect to see Bobo tap out that easily. He wants to be the first ever actual heavyweight champion, just like all 8 of these men, although now we're down to 6 men with the hopes alive to become the first ever actual heavyweight champion. These 2 legends never crossed paths in real life, but here they're doing it in the ARW ring at Madison Square Garden. A drop kick lands for Bobo Brazil, and he goes to work on the Undertaker. Not going to waste the time while Phenom is off his feet. Sends him to the ropes. Undertaker hangs on to the top rope. There's a right hand by Brazil, and Undertaker answers it with a left hand of his own. There's another one. Brazil sends Taker to the ropes. Shoulder block, no sold by the Undertaker, and he scoops up Bobo Brazil. The running power slam puts the legend down on the canvas, and Undertaker drags him to the center of the ring. And is going to just mount a ground and pound technique here. Hebner with the count. Undertaker's going to use every second of it, but Brazil escapes the predicament and slows things down with a sleeper hold here. And this is with the shoulder tackle. Sends Undertaker to the ropes, and Bobo Brazil that time got the shoulder tackle. Goes right back to the sleeper hold, and he's going to wear down the Undertaker, make him fight his fight. It's a smart tactic by Brazil. Undertaker lands a jab, but he's sent back to the ropes. Brazil chases him. Drop kick just sends the Phenom back, but he stays on his feet. DDT by the Undertaker. Both men down on the mat. They're up at the same time. Brazil just a little bit more spry there. He's covering up, but not blocking everything as Undertaker puts him down with a big right hand. Back to the ground and pound. Hebner with the count, and Brazil just has to cover up here. He's in trouble. Stomp to the midsection. Goes for the quick pin. Kick out by the Undertaker after 1. And there's a big headbutt by Bobo Brazil. Goes back on the stomp and could be setting up for the Coco Butt, the finishing maneuver of the legend. And he's used it to win his first 2 matches in the tournament. Could he make it 3 in a row and collide that skull with the Undertaker? Undertaker, though, breaks out of that, and it's a huge choke slam into the pin here. 1, 2, kick out by Brazil. Undertaker won his last matchup against Xavier Shamrock with that very maneuver. Sets up the running power slam in the center of the ring, and he got it. Bobo out on his feet here. Undertaker sends him to the corner. Hits a big clothesline into the corner, and Bobo Brazil just collapses coming out of it. Undertaker collects himself here, hits the ropes. Misses Bobo there. Waiting on the other side is Brazil. Front face lock by the Undertaker. Suplex lands. And now a kick to the midsection by Bobo Brazil. Tosses the Undertaker to the outside, and here comes Bobo.
2, 3.
And he's sent into the barricade there by the Undertaker. Stopped just short, and not on the outside. Last ride coming. Last ride. He got it. Oh no. What a bad way Bobo Brazil must be in.
10.
The count is at 10. This is Fire Pro Wrestling rules. There's a 20 count.
13.
And Bobo Brazil knows that. He beats the count at 13. But gotta be feeling the effects of that last ride. He wrenches the arm of the Undertaker, and Undertaker just going back to the striking offense. That uppercut landed again, put Bobo Brazil down. As we cross the 10-minute mark of this matchup, no time limit. We are looking for a decisive winner. There's another headbutt from Bobo. Got to be on the lookout for the Coco Butt, the Undertaker. But he's setting him up here. Third time's the charm. That power slam lands again for the dead man. He's dragging Bobo Brazil away from the rope. Has him on his feet, but there's an elbow now from Bobo. He hooks the outside leg. 1, 2. Kick out by the Undertaker at 2. Undertaker misses with the right hand. Bobo lands with his. Undertaker answering. Bobo answering. They're going back and forth. Bobo fires up. Big headbutt. And Bobo Brazil is warming up here. Could he be setting it up? No, Undertaker sends him to the ropes. Bobo collides with him off his feet. The Undertaker showing the guns as he lands a big right hand. There's a big headbutt from Bobo Brazil. Undertaker eats a right hand, and Bobo Brazil hits the Coco Butt, center of the ring, into the cover. Could this be it? 1, 2. It's a long 2 count. The first man to kick out of the Coco Butt is the Undertaker, and Bobo Brazil looks shocked. Can't believe that the Undertaker was able to kick out of it. His finishing move, the Coco Butt. He's back on the offensive, and Bobo Brazil has to go back to the drawing board. Takes a sidewalk slam from the Undertaker. They're up simultaneously. There's a right hand by Bobo. Headlock and lands 2 quick fists on the head of Undertaker. That drop kick lands for Bobo Brazil. Bobo was going to hit the ropes, thought better of it. Hits a left hand, sent to the ropes by the Undertaker. They collide and both men are down. What a matchup thus far between these two legends of the industry. And Undertaker sets up the Tombstone Pile Driver. Spike Bobo Brazil, drags him away from the rope, and here's the cover. 1, 2. A long 2 count as Bobo kicks out at the last moment possible. Sends Taker to the ropes and a shoulder tackle by Bobo. Drops the knee on the midsection, and the Undertaker is still lying motionless as he's dragged away by Bobo. And there's another Coco Butt. Could it be at the second one here? 1, 2, 3. Here is your winner, Bobo Brazil. And it took 2 Coco Butts to do it, but he kept the Undertaker down. Bobo Brazil is advanced to the next round, and he will be at the grand final event next week, next Sunday. Same start time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. And if you're just joining us, we are watching the actual heavyweight championship tournament, the 3rd round. We just saw Bobo Brazil defeat The Undertaker to advance. Just before that, Daniel Bryan upset Brock Lesnar to advance and punch his ticket to the grand final event. And now those 2 men await the winners of these next 2 matches to find out who they'll face in the opening of the grand final event. Coming up next, we have the Samurai of Chaos, Hiroki Goto. He will take on Blue Demon Jr., the legend of Lucha Libre AAA. And we don't have to wait much longer as we go now to the ring. The following match is scheduled for 1 fall with no time limit. It is a 3rd round matchup in the actual heavyweight championship tournament. Coming to the ring first, the Warrior of Chaos, Hiroki Goto. And his opponent, the Hijo de Leyenda Azul, Blue Demon Jr. calls to a start to the matchup. The Samurai, or Warrior of Chaos, Hiroki Goto hits a running bulldog. He's here against a legend in Blue Demon Jr., still active in Lucha Libre AAA. These two had drastically different paths. Goto looking to make his name on the heavyweight scene and becoming the first ever actual heavyweight champion. Defeated his old rival Shinsuke Nakamura in the first round. Then in the second round, defeated the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels to punch his ticket here to the third round as he hits the running clothesline. Caught Blue Demon coming from the opposite side of the ring. Blue Demon Jr. in the opening match defeated none other than Johnny Mundo.
Give up.
With his signature armbar submission. And in the second round, defeated the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin, in a highly contested match. Austin was going to go to the kick for the stunner. Blue Demon caught him, went low with the kick, and got the 1-2-3. So drastically different paths to the third round, but here they are, knocking on the door of becoming the first ever actual heavyweight champion. The winner of this match will take on Daniel Bryan in the opening bouts of the grand final event next week. So lots riding on the line. We are near the end of the actual heavyweight championship tournament. It's win or go home for these two as Goto hits a side suplex there. Took Blue Demon off the canvas. And fireman's carry and drops the neck of Blue Demon over his knee. Pinpoint accuracy by Hiroki Goto. There's a headlock takeover by Blue Demon. There's a rope break on the submission attempt. Hiroki now drags Demon away. They lock up, sends him to the ropes. Collision down near the bottom of the ring. Goto waiting on him this time. Just throws the head right into Blue Demon, takes him off the canvas. There's a drop toe hold by Demon now. Blocked right hand by Goto. There's a kick to the midsection by Demon, but he's up in the fireman's carry, and here comes that neck breaker again. And Demon felt that one as he rolled around in pain on the ring. There's a huge jumping Superman punch by Hiroki Goto coming out of the rope. And there's a rake to the eye, a common tool used by Blue Demon to get an advantage in a match, and now he's capitalizing, putting Goto's face into the turnbuckle. Goto right back on his feet. Demon goes back to the eyes and buys himself a moment for that slap there as Goto sends him to the ropes. Nothing doing there. Big right hand by Demon, and now he's managing the distance. Front face lock by Goto. Suplex sends Demon to the outside. And Hebner starts the count, and Hiroki Goto will not bring the fight to Blue Demon. Going to allow him back into the ring. Huge. Three quick elbows by Hiroki Goto landing. And there's a stomp by Blue Demon. Goto picking him up off the canvas. And an Olympic slam lands for Hiroki Goto. Headlock takeover by Blue Demon. Into the submission. Hebner checking on Hiroki Goto. He escapes. Goto now, he finds himself out of the title picture in his home promotion of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So he's trying to string together some wins here and become the first ever actual heavyweight champion. And maybe that's what he needs to get back into the consideration for the top of the division. Here's a cover by Goto. Two. And it's a long 2 count, but a kick out by Blue Demon at the last moment. He goes back on the offensive with a scoop slam, putting the boots now to Goto. Tie up in the center of the ring. Goto has him in the front face lock. And the brain buster into the falling slam by Goto.
1, 2.
And another long 2 count. Shoulder of Demon came up at the last moment as he kicked out, and here comes the joint manipulation by Blue Demon Jr. Armbar by Blue Demon. His finishing submission here. Hiroki Goto in pain, clearly. Rig of the eyes of Blue Demon Jr. And he's landing right hands. Blue Demon Jr. taking every shortcut he can. If it's not going to get him disqualified, he will do it. But here's Goto now, answering back. It's a vertical suplex to cut off Blue Demon Jr. And Goto now firing up. Tornado clothesline puts Blue Demon on the canvas. It goes back to the hand and snaps the fingers of Goto again and goes into the arm bar. That arm is bent awfully here as Goto's in agony. Hebner checking on him. He can't make it to the ropes. He escapes of his own volition, sends Blue Demon into the corner, and he's headed over to him. The Blue Demon tosses Goto to the outside. Maybe he was playing possum there, catching his breath, and Demon going to work on Goto on the outside. Landing those inside punches, uppercuts to the jaw of Goto, and 6 shots now, 8 shots to the face of Goto. And wisely going back to the damaged arm as Goto has been in that armbar submission, has had the joint snapped a couple times now.
16.
When it counts at 16, Demon breaks it. Well, there's a quick palm strike that hit a flash knockdown for Blue Demon, but Goto's right back in it now. They're trading elbows. Demon with a big clothesline. Putting the boots to Goto, sends him into the corner. Here comes Blue Demon Jr. Front face lock is bringing him up to the top turnbuckle. And what's this? Hurricane Rana from the top turnbuckle. And Goto's in trouble here. 1, 2, 3. And it's a 3 count. Here is your winner, Blue Demon Jr. And you gotta hand it to Blue Demon Jr. picking up the victory in decisive fashion there as he hit the Hurricane Rana off the top rope, got the 1, 2, 3 clean after less than noble methods used to defeat the Texas Rattlesnake to advance to this stage in the tournament. Blue Demon Jr. has advanced and he is one of the final 4. You are looking at the tournament bracket now. Earlier in the evening we saw Daniel Bryan upset Brock Lesnar, and he will face Blue Demon Jr. in the opening bouts of the grand final event next week. Bobo Brazil defeated The Undertaker with not 1 but 2 Cocoa Butts to keep the Phenom down and ultimately win and find himself as one of the final 4, and he will face the winner of our next matchup, Dustin Rhodes, who's had a Cinderella story making his way through the brackets and getting here to the 3rd round to face the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, who has been much more decisive, much more dominant in his matchups. Knocked off Seth Rollins in short order in the 2nd round, but we don't have to wait much longer, and by the end of this stream we will know our complete final 4, and that'll set things up for next week, the grand final event of the actual heavyweight championship tournament, a near 2-month event just almost at its conclusion. That'll be the final stream of 2019 for me, Jeff Sunday, at least for ARW. And let's not have you wait any longer. We go now to the ring. The following match is scheduled for one fall. It is a 3rd round matchup with no time limit in the actual heavyweight championship tournament. Coming to the ring first, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. And his opponent, the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. Referee Earl Hebner will call the remaining matches in the tournament. And we are here, the main event of the third round. Rainmaker versus the Natural. An early bionic elbow lands for Dustin Rhodes. And Dustin has exceeded my expectations. I'll say that with no shame. Here's a cover and no shade at Dustin, but he's had some impressive victories thus far. Defeated Le Champion Chris Jericho in the first round.
Give up. Give up.
Second round match escapes me for the moment. Kazuchika Okada defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi in the first round of the tournament. Then defeated Seth Rollins, as I mentioned, the start of the match in just under 6 minutes, if memory serves me. Quick work of the Beast Slayer by the Rainmaker. But Dustin is doing it here for the Rhodes legacy. And he's going to beat the Rainmaker. He's going to give him all he can handle. A veteran of the ring. Knows all the tricks to win. It's in his blood. This guy does it on instinct. As an elbow lands for Okada, he goes off the top rope. Landed it perfectly, and there's an elbow standing there. DDT by Okada. Puts Dustin on the canvas. Okada sent into the corner. And Dustin stomping a mud hole in him. Okada breaks out of the waistlock, and a Rainmaker clothesline lands for Okada. Has Dustin in a bad way, but a rope break. The veteran grabbed the rope to escape the pinning predicament. There's a jumping neck breaker by Okada. Has Dustin dazed here. Quick elbow by Dustin. And there's a jumping neck breaker again by Okada. This time, Dustin answers right back. Tit for tat. Lands a neck breaker of his own. And there's a hip attack. Sends Okada to the outside. And Dustin's not going to waste any time. He's bringing the fight to the Rainmaker. Lands a jumping neck breaker on the outside and heads back into the ring as Hebner continues the count.
7, 5 minutes.
And Okada understands now that he's in there with stiff competition. And they're exchanging blows now. Rights for left. And who's going to get the better end? The Natural puts the Rainmaker on the canvas and drags him away from the corner. Huge clothesline by Dustin. Starting to string it together. But a pile driver, twisting pile driver by the Rainmaker from out of nowhere. He's lifting Dustin off the canvas, and Dustin now lands a few quick jabs. Shake, rattle, and roll. And here comes the bionic elbow by Dustin Rhodes. Shades of the legend, Dusty. Certainly looking down here, and what's this? A neck breaker by Okada off of the crucifix. But here's a running bulldog. Answers right back to Dustin. They're going back and forth here. And a leg takedown by Okada. Bought the Rainmaker some time. And he's going to go again for seconds. The twisting pile driver lands, spiked the Natural. But Okada not going for the cover. Lands a drop kick instead. And sends him into the ropes. There's a big left hand. Caught the Rainmaker as he was coming from the ropes. But he sent in the ropes and dodged the drop kick. Did Dustin. The veteran skills on display. And could this be a curtain call? It is. Center of the ring. You got to go for the cover, Dustin. Curtain call lands. Dustin Rhodes covers up. 1, 2. What an upset And it's a long 2 count. The Rainmaker dodged a bullet and dug down deep to kick out of the curtain call. And a short arm, no, running bulldog reversal by Dustin lands. Has the Rainmaker down. And setting up again. No, front vertical suplex this time by Dustin Rhodes as he drags Okada away from the ropes. Dustin hanging in there. Can you believe it? It's another big clothesline. Falling slam for Dustin. The Natural has it all on the line. He's going to leave it all in the ring so he can know he gave it all he had to become the first ever actual heavyweight champion. Heels Okada off the canvas, but Okada, fireman's carry, and the falling slam as he sent Dustin through the air
10 minutes gone.
and into the sleeper hold, but Dustin able to reach for the rope. It's a rope break. And Dustin now going back to the jumping neck breaker. The Rhodes legacy on the line. It's AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okada now the only remaining member of the New Japan roster in the actual heavyweight championship tournament. And he's going up top now. Points to the skies and an elbow lands into the cover. 2. And a kick out by Dustin Rhodes at the last moment. Madison Square Garden showing their appreciation for these two warriors. Putting it all on the line to advance to be one of the last member of the Final Four in the inaugural tournament in this heavyweight division of ARW. The talent we've seen, the matches, we're somewhere around match number 25 that we're watching now in the tournament. Incredible action thus far. There's a suplex by Okada. And he sends Dustin to the ropes. Big boot by Okada. Has Dustin down. He's setting him up. Hits the ropes again. Drop kick by Okada. Knocks Dustin back. And Okada with the Rainmaker pose. Missed the drop kick that time. Dustin dodged it. But a twisting pile driver lands for Okada. Signature maneuver. Not going for the pin there. He's waiting. And takes down Dustin again. Flips him over. Peels him off the canvas. Front face lock. Reversal. Dustin has him up. Suplex by the Natural. Dustin Rhodes still fighting. What guts by Dustin Rhodes. Picks him up. Inverted atomic drop. Has him dazed. Dustin hits the ropes. But a big boot's waiting for him. On his way back. Okada's back for a third time. Lands the elbow for a third time. Here's a cover. 2. And another kick out by Dustin Rhodes. What's it gonna take? Okada has to be wondering. The veteran is on lights out wrestling mode. He's just fighting on pure instinct. Not gonna go down. Dustin wants this so badly to be the first ever actual heavyweight champion. But a big boot again puts the Natural down. Okada is out on his feet. Exhausted from the matchup he's had thus far. And mind you, both men will have to win 2 more matches, just 2 more wins to become the first ever champion. They've each won 2 matches to get here. But the task is at hand. They have to win just 1 more. They've got to edge out the victory as Hebner stops the count. Okada back in the ring. Crucifix set up and the neck breaker lands for Okada. Okada now eats an elbow from Dustin Rhodes. A bionic elbow lands. And Dustin firing up Madison Square Garden. Could be looking for it. A big right hand. Sends Okada in the ropes, but he's right on his heels and they collide. Right near the corner there. Up to their feet pretty much at the same time. There's a leg takedown by Okada. Okada's liked this corner thus far for the elbow, but there's a kick by Dustin. Cut off the Rainmaker. And Dustin out on his feet. Fatigue setting in. There's a huge DDT by the Natural. What's he setting up here as he drags Okada away from the rope? Ring positioning so key in wrestling. As he's sent to the ropes, a big boot is waiting for Dustin. And a short arm clothesline, the Rainmaker lands. Rainmaker for Okada. This could be it. 2, 3, and here is your winner, Kazuchika Okada. And there you have it. And what a way to end the third round. The latest entrant into the Hall of 100. Okada versus Rhodes. They'll be talking about that one for a long time. Back and forth. We saw Rainmakers. We saw Tombstones. We saw the curtain call. Elbows off the top. It had everything. And that's why it has a match evaluation of 100%. Ultimately, the Rainmaker has punched his ticket to the main event, the grand final of the actual heavyweight championship tournament is just 1 week away. And I want to thank anyone and everyone who's tuned in for any part of the tournament, got some enjoyment out of it. This is something that I was doing for myself, but the fact that anyone would want to tune in and enjoy the show with me, it's just beyond me. So thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed the tournament thus far. It's been a lot of action. Let's do the math. 16 in the first round, 8 in the second round, and then we had 4 tonight. So we have seen 28 matches in the actual heavyweight championship tournament thus far. And it's now down to just 3 more. So next week, in the opening bouts, we will see Kazuchika Okada, who you just saw defeat Dustin Rhodes. He will take on Bobo Brazil, who's been nearly unstoppable with that Coco Butt, his finishing maneuver. Bobo landed it twice tonight at 2 to keep down the dead man. But ultimately, Brazil got the victory. And in the other opening bout, Blue Demon Jr. defeated Hiroki Goto tonight with the Hurricane Rana off the top rope, and he will face Daniel Bryan, who submitted Brock Lesnar in the opening match of the third round. What an upset there by the underdog, Daniel Bryan. So it'll be Blue Demon Jr., Daniel Bryan, and Okada Brazil. What a Final Four. You've got 4 different promotions. You've got different timelines, guys, spanning 40 years. I'm so happy to see this Final Four, this crew, and one of those 4 men is going to be the first ever actual heavyweight champion. There's the one more look at the bracket. And this concludes this stream of actually real wrestling. And I am at Jeff Sunday on Twitter, at Jeff Sunday GG on Instagram. We also post highlights of the matches on both. So if you can't always follow on the streams, I understand, man. We all got lives. Trying to tell a long-term story, and that's why these streams are so quick. Want to make it realistic for you to be able to follow along. And if it's not always on the live stream, social media is where we're also keeping everyone up to date on what's going on with the tournament and beyond. So next week, again, will be the last stream of of actually real wrestling for the foreseeable future. And we're going to rest up, enjoy the holidays, and come back in 2020 when the time is right. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great week. We'll see you next time. See you next week for the grand final.